Hello, welcome to the second part of the audiobook, The Wandering Worlds, Journey 2. On the Way to Meet the Gods. After my last instance with the drunk man, I embarked on my next journey, to meet the gods, aka the leaders of the world. Obviously, I was not invited, but I knew someone who manages the event. He gave me a job application, for a post of a supervisor attendant. It is a person who takes the leaders on the tour of the event hall. I will not be able to meet all the leaders, as many were appointed for the same job. The security check and documentation screening were so intense, that I barely managed to get the job. The pay is quite good for a day's job. I was informed that I shall only be paid through a government bank, but not receive any experience certificate or any data that I worked in the event. I underwent vigorous training, just a week before the event, which was quite stressful, but I am sure it will be worth it, and may find my answer to my question. My supervisor called all of us for a meeting and he said, "As per the training, I have marked all of you, and as per your ranking, you shall each take the listed leaders, around the place, just as we prepared the last week." Rest all were motivational words, and for my surprise, I was listed on the 10th spot on the list. I had received the opportunity to ask my question to 4 leaders of different country. As I mentally prepared myself for the greeting the first leader, his car came in early than the allotted time. I greeted him and asked him to follow me. He smiled and said thank you. I took him as per my training, but I added some stuff of my own which was in my mind as I took him around, and in the end of the tour, he told me that he has been to the event several times, and everyone who greeted him said the same stuff, and he possessed a copy of the script which he wrote, but I was the first person who made it fun and enjoyable, and he decided to reward me, and offered me money as a reward. I knew this was my chance, and told him I do not want the money, but I would like your answer to a question. He laughed and said, "If I can answer it, I shall." I asked him, "In this huge far world of ours, we have yet to discover the true nature and reason for our existence. What do you think it is?" He started thinking, and after 5 minutes, he said in a deep voice, "I am an uneducated person, but I successfully run a country, and I think the people are happy with my leadership. But that being said, with all my experience, and my lifetime of bad judgment, I can tell you that, I will never be able to answer that question, because there are limits to being uneducated. I suggest you ask a scholar this question." With that, I knew one thing for sure, this guy is truly a politician. The person I was touring was a world-class dictator, who lets his own people starve to death, for fulfilling his own pockets. I realized, I cannot get the answer to my question by asking the leaders, but it was not all in vain. Maybe a scholar might actually be helpful. I finished my day, touring the rest of the leaders, and as I thought, it yielded nothing, but I understood something. Money and charisma are the only 2 qualities required for being a politician. A person without a cold heart and a positive attitude cannot survive this game of lies. I have realized that in order to do the greater good, a worst hell must be done, and I think our history is a primary example.